Hello, can you see me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Hello, can you see me? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? I got disconnected. I don't know if it was from my end.
Yes, sir, it is from your end, sir. We are all good here.
But I think it's back now and it's better. I'm trying to upload the slide just a bit. We will commence now. All right, I think we are good. Can you see my slide, please? Please let me know if you can see my slide.
No, we can't see your slide.
Please let me know if you can
We can't see
see
it, sir. You have to share it again.
my slide. Check 1, 2. I'm having a bit of issues presenting my slide. Please just exercise a little patience with me. Just a bit of patience, please. I think the slide is a bit, just 9 MB, so it's not much. Okay, let's try it one more time and let's see what will happen. Just a bit of patience, please. It's coming up. Okay. Let's see how we are faring now. Okay, I think we have our slide up now. Excellent. Okay, great. So good morning, everyone. And good day to those of us that are connecting from outside of Nigeria, those that will be watching from diaspora. A few of us may also be watching this after the class. So wherever you're meeting us, good day to you. We are starting a new series today, and we are all very excited to be able to be a part of this. We are running a bit behind time, but that notwithstanding, we should be able to meet up in good time. We ought to have done sorry about that. Network is really unstable this morning. Please bear with us. Bear with us, honestly. Is it better now? Is it better now? Is the audio better now? Is the audio better now? Please, if you can hear me, just confirm that you can hear me. Sorry about this network issue. It's just a bit of technical glitch from my end. Okay, Anas, thank you very much. Anas, thank you, Jibril. Thank you, Hamza, Abdul Rashid. Thank you, Ibrahim. All right, so we are good to go. We are good to go. So let's proceed. All right, thank you, Farouk. Okay, so thanks to everyone for joining this morning. We're quickly going to proceed into today's class. We are starting a new series today, Blockchain Compliance, Policy, and Regulation. So out of the 5 streams, we are done with the first, which is Blockchain Fundamental. Today, we are going to, for the next 3 weeks, or hopefully, we're going to be looking at blockchain compliance, policy, and regulation. This is one of the very vital aspects of this program, because this is where we are right now in the world. All over the world, the conversation borders around compliance, policy and regulation, crypto assets classification, and taxation, and revenue generation generally as it is. So please pay attention to this. The success of your startup rises and falls on compliance, policy, and regulation. The success of your product and any service you are doing rises and falls on compliance, policy, and regulation. If you want to be a blockchain analyst, if you want to be a blockchain consultant, even if you're a marketer or a developer, a programmer, you must understand the role of compliance. Okay, so let's jump into it, because it will take a while for us to go deeper. And the earlier we start, the better. We have just a few minutes. For the benefit of all of us here, this program has become a bit mature because we've been together for quite a while, for about 2 months. So we're not breaking the slides into chunks. We're going to drop the full material in the Google Drive. So when you go to the Google Drive for blockchain technology, you check BTC 102. BTC 102. After the class, go there. You are going to see just one folder for BTC 102. When you open it, you see just one file, one PDF document there. You will see this material after the class. After the class, you see this material there. From Module 1 to Module 4. So we're not breaking it, Module 1, Module 2, Module 3, Module 4. No, everything is there so that you can read from beginning to end. All right, so at the end of the 3rd week or the 4th week, we're going to have our quiz. So we are giving you ahead of time. However, next week, we will have another quiz. So you have 1 week to prepare. The quiz will comprise chapter 7 to chapter 12 of blockchain fundamentals. Chapter 7 to chapter 12 of blockchain fundamentals. We're going to have the quiz of those chapters next week, Friday. So you have 1 week to prepare. Go and read the materials. Please use the email that you use for your registration of this program for your quiz and your student ID. Get it ahead of time ready. Don't leave your exam or don't leave your window, your system, to go and look for it and come back. Those people that did not put their correct email or their correct fellow number, which is the student ID, I'm sorry, I cannot do it because I don't have access to the exam back end. I don't have access to it. It is programmed by management, so there's nothing we can do. Those people that missed that quiz, they have missed it. Those that entered the wrong email, they have lost their scores. Those that did not enter their student ID, that quiz, 20 points, 20 marks is gone. It is not me. So even when you write to me, there's nothing I can do. Even when you write to ideas@baseuniversity.org.edu.ng, there's nothing they can do about it. So please listen to instructions so that you don't miss your remaining 80 marks. So you still have 80 marks to go, and the passing score is 60 points, 60 marks. So if you get up to 60, you are still going to graduate from this program. However, that's not the true test of knowledge, and that does not determine if you'll be successful in life or not. So let's proceed to today's program. All right, so we've talked about who I am before, so there's no point going through it again, okay? When you get the slide, you can still read about all of this. So today we'll be looking at introduction to blockchain and regulatory landscape. We will not spend too much time on it because we've actually looked at blockchain in blockchain fundamentals, okay? But we'll just browse straight for the benefit of those that did not join us that class. Then we'll look at the key compliance considerations in blockchain technology. We'll also consider privacy and security in blockchain compliance. Then the last week, we'll see regulatory challenges and future trends. We'll try to understand the foundational understanding to gain a solid grasp of blockchain fundamentals, distributed ledger technology. We will not spend time here because we've done this before. We'll quickly go into regulatory insight. We'll see some case studies of regulation. Then we'll touch AML, anti-money laundering laws. We'll also look at KYC, know your customer. Okay, for those of us that we graduate into the higher level, maybe you want to do your master's, you will see KYB, know your business. In fact, there's also KYV, know your venture capitalist, or KYI, know your investor. There are lots of things to look at in this policy compliance policy and regulation. The regulatory challenges, why some countries are having issues with regulations, why some businesses are having issues with regulations, why some users even fall victim. We'll look at all of that. So these are the lessons. We will not waste time here. Let's go straight into module 1 and chapter 1. Okay, so the overview of this is to provide participants, which is you and I, because we are all participating in this, with a comprehensive understanding of blockchain technology, regulation, the landscape, to enable us to do what? Navigate the legal and compliance considerations effectively. At this point, suffice me to say that we'll be launching a book on this topic, dedicated to this topic, blockchain compliance policy and regulation. By next month, those that want to pre-order the book will let you know. You pre-order the book at a cheaper rate, maybe at 50%. Then when the book is eventually out, we are going to be launching it in Bayes University. So all of us here will be the first set of people to participate in that. It's going to be a game changer for anyone participating in this and coming into the blockchain and Web3 space. And industry leaders are joining me to finalize the book. The book is ready, but we are doing some finishing touches. We don't want to rush it because it will be the first of its kind in Nigeria. I am the lead author of that book, Blockchain Compliance Policy and Regulation. That's the title. I am the lead author, and we have 3 industry leaders that are joining me to co-author the book. So we will let you know when the pre-order is out. We're working on some final stuffs and registering it with the National Library. So when it's ready, we'll let you know. So here we're going to be gaining foundational insight. We talked about it, gaining understanding of distributed ledger technology. We're going to be exploring real-life applications of blockchain across industries. As a matter of fact, we can actually skip section 1 because we've touched it in blockchain fundamentals. The reason why we have to go through this again is because if we have a separate class, we actually use this module to train executives of companies. So if you are here and you have benefited from this and you want us to come and expand it for your company, your organization as a whole, this particular class, this particular stream, this particular program of blockchain compliance policy and regulation is a full lecture on its own that we can do a high-level executive training. So you can reach out to us and we'll have that conversation. But for the benefit of you being in the IGS program, you are getting this for free. So let's look at the lesson 1 quickly. What are the key concepts? What is a block? A block is a sequential arrangement. Okay, a sequential arrangement transactions. Sorry, a block is transactions on a blockchain that are grouped. Transactions on a blockchain that are grouped together into blocks. If you remember, when we started blockchain fundamentals, I used this, my Jota, okay, as a ledger. And I told you that the different sheets are transactions. I'm trying to avoid showing you the content of my diary. So the different sheets are transactions, okay? But you see all these different lines can represent blocks. So you can connect the different transactions together, and putting it together, you have a ledger. However, what this one means is this can be a private blockchain because I am the only one seeing it. What of a situation where everything that is here, you also have a copy. You have a copy of everything that is here. All of us have copies of everything that is here, so that the moment I write something, okay, the moment I write something here like this, immediately this will appear on your own copy and everybody will have the same thing. That is what we are seeing here. So the moment somebody writes something here, everybody will see the preview hash. It becomes encrypted and it is added like that, you know. So it is a chain with timestamp. So this hash 1, 2, 3, 4, this hash 5, 6, 7, 8 is unique to this block, coming with the timestamp and the transaction that happened there. Everyone will have a copy of it. So that is how blocks are formed and connected together as a chain, a sequential chain, identified with their hash and timestamp. We have talked about this before when we're talking about blockchain fundamentals. So it creates a continuous chain of blocks. All right, that is how the block is formed. And what are the chains? A sequential arrangement of blocks of data. We've talked about this before as well. So where each block contains a set of transactions, a timestamp, and a reference to the previous block. That's why it is a history of occurrences, transactions that have happened. No transaction can just show up from nowhere that you cannot trace back. These are the provisions that help forensic experts to trace blockchain transactions. Another key consideration we need to look at is peer-to-peer. Now, if you do not understand what I just said now, it means you need to go back to blockchain fundamentals and read again, or watch the videos again. Good thing we have everything here on YouTube. So go and watch it again and it will help you. Okay, so peer-to-peer is a decentralized communication model that participants in a network use to interact directly with each other, one-on-one, without the need for intermediaries. What about consensus mechanism? We're just doing, for this lesson one, we're just doing a recap of what we've done in fundamentals. So it's a protocol of algorithm that is used in blockchain networks to achieve what? Agreement among participants. So all of us here have agreed today that we are doing blockchain compliance policy and regulation, right? That is a consensus. Those of us within this network have seen that we have started blockchain compliance policy and regulation today, 19th of July, 2024. Anybody that is not in our class, is not in our network, cannot see what is going on, cannot partake in the consensus mechanism. So for you to be able to partake in the consensus, you need to be in that network. And our network is the ideas what? Blockchain, happening in Bayes University, which is our network as well, our node. All of us are nodes too. Bayes University is like our master node, while all of us are junior nodes inside the Bayes University. All right. So we can say ideas is our layer one network. If you want to build a blockchain for this program, you can use this as your example to start understanding how it works. So as I'm giving you this lecture, every node on this network, whether the node is Ibrahim, the node is Chima, the node is Nkechi, the node is Musa, the node is Bola, all of you are hearing me at the same time. So you can agree that today I taught you, right? But somebody that is not a member of this network, somebody that is not in this hybrid network, because this network is both private and what? Public. It is private because you registered, you applied, you were selected, you were approved, you were given a node number, a member ID. your unique transaction hash, your student ID, that's your unique identifier. So you are now in the network. You can partake in consensus mechanism. But guess what? Because we are on YouTube as well, there is a public side of this network, of this ideas blockchain. So other people can see what is going on, but they may not be able to partake in the consensus mechanism. They will not be able to be a part of the real-time class lecture. So this will be giving you understanding of how the blockchain works. All right. A key concept again to look at is DLT, distributed ledger technology. And this refers to a digital system or database. Nodes are spread across, or the records of the transactions are spread across multiple nodes. So you are a node. I've mentioned about 5 names about a few seconds ago. All those names that I mentioned are nodes or participants in this decentralized network. Some people are in Abuja, some people are in Lagos, some people are in Kano, some people are in Katsina, some people are in Jigawa, you know. So we are cut across many places. Some people are not even in Nigeria. So that's the decentralized nature of this, our class. So if we are building this as a blockchain, it can be easily considered as what? A decentralized class. And it is also distributed, because as I have dropped this lecture now, everybody have received it. Consider it like this. If one of you, your phone goes off, it will not affect the network. Though this is not completely decentralized because it is coming from me as one source, but the moment I drop it and all of you receive it, even if I go off now, you have received it. So it will not affect what you have received. So it is a bit decentralized and a bit centralized until we perfect it. If I drop the file now in your Google Drive and all of you receive it, automatically it has become decentralized to you, right? Even if I go and delete it or somebody goes to delete it, you can still have your copy, okay? If we want to make this fully decentralized, we can design it in the way that the moment we upload this transaction to a blockchain, nobody will be able to delete it. So Google Drive is still centralized. In the future, we should be able to design a file storage system, which we will eventually get to, and it can be one of your capstone projects. Somebody here can decide to design a decentralized storage system like the IPFS, the Internet Protocol File World Storage, where the moment you save something or you upload something to the IPFS, nobody will be able to delete it again and it will be there. That is what DLT works with to make sure that your transactions are secure. Another key concept is the immutability of blockchain. So once a transaction is recorded on the blockchain and it is confirmed by consensus, it cannot be altered or deleted. That's what I just said 3 seconds ago. So immutability ensures the integrity and the trustworthiness of blockchain technology, making sure that the data that is stored on a blockchain is tamper-proof. That's why it can be audited by forensic experts. It can be audited by investigators. And that's why we are also confident to say transactions that happen on the blockchain are more secure than transactions that happen in fiat. Last week, or in fact this week, I received an information about a fiat transaction that happened somewhere outside of this country, and we are trying to trace it. But because it is fiat, the person has withdrawn the money. So once fiat is converted to cash, that person can travel somewhere and it becomes difficult to trace it, right? So fiat can have a problem. But when it comes to blockchain, even if that person has sold the digital assets to fiat, so the very last IP address, we know that people do IP switcher, IP changer, use VPN to change IP address and MAC address. Those things happen now. We can still trace it to the last IP address to know the physical environment where that happened. So blockchain is still far better than fiat, traditional banking. Okay, we have talked about nodes before, so I'm not even going to talk about node again. We have talked about nodes extensively. So you are a node, I am a node. My laptop is a node, my phone is a node, and all your gadgets are nodes. What is a nonce? It's a randomly generated or incremented number that is included in a data structure. Let's explain it further. So when a block is created, a transaction is created as a block, okay? The header, the beginning of that link of that transaction, in the process of creating a cryptographic hash, which is what you can use to trace that transaction, something is added to it. The numbers that are added to it is known as a nonce. It is a cryptographic data that is created, okay, and added to the block to help that block to be easily identified. Those of us that will be doing programming will see this and will understand it better. But don't stress yourself too much with it. I don't need to talk about decentralization. Go and do your checks again. Go to your previous note and look at decentralization. I don't need to talk about smart contract. We talked about it before because they are self-executing contracts. These are softwares that are programmed to automatically carry out the instructions that they've been told to carry out. Nobody expects me to define blockchain at this point. So I agree with you that we should skip to the next. All right, so the features of blockchain technology, we've also looked at this in our blockchain fundamentals. If you don't know this, please go to the course on blockchain fundamentals and check the features, which are transparency, security, and decentralization. Types of blockchain, we've also looked at this before. Public blockchain, anybody can join. Private blockchain, not everybody can join because you need access. Hybrid blockchain is a combination of both public and private. Then consortium blockchain is like a hybrid blockchain. Consortium blockchain is a combination of multiple businesses, multiple enterprise users on the blockchain. Consortium blockchain is not always for individuals, it's used for enterprise purpose. We don't need to start defining public blockchain. I just said it. The same with private, the same with hybrid, and the same with consortium. So you can see that this class has become very mature. So now let's go into the importance of blockchain compliance. All right, let's go into the importance of blockchain compliance. Admin, are you controlling this, please? If you are, kindly ignore it so that I can have control. Admin, please allow me to control the slide. Thank you. Thank you. I have control, please. Thank you. Okay, so let's look at the regulatory environment in Nigeria, which is where we are operating. We'll also see some global consideration. So our main consideration here is the Securities and Exchange Commission of Nigeria, SEC, the SEC, established by the Investment and Securities Act of 2007. This is very important if you want to be a blockchain compliance expert. If you want to be a blockchain consultant, if you want to be a blockchain analyst, please pay attention to this course. And we've entered into the crux of compliance. They have rules that provide that any person, whether an individual or an entity, which is a corporate organization, whose activities are blockchain related, whether you are a P2P, peer-to-peer, OTC provider, merchant, whether you are a wallet provider, whether you're an exchange provider, whatever you are doing, whether you are a portfolio manager, and involves the offering of digital asset services, you'll be required to be registered with SEC and comply with the regulatory guidelines of SEC. The rules also provide limit of funds to be raised by an issuer and investment limits for individuals. The second is the Central Bank of Nigeria. They also have a regulatory framework. The CBN over the years has also looked and made some laws, okay, that may be applicable to blockchain. Some of these are the Central Bank of Nigeria Consumer Protection Regulations. If time permits, next week, I will play a video for us, or maybe I can send a link that we can check one of the interviews I granted. And I talked about the roles of Central Bank and for consumer protection. Anti-money laundering, that's AML, and combating the financing of terrorism, CTF. Okay, administrative sanctions. There's a regulation for that, a 2009 regulation. The CBN three-tier KYC regulation of 2013. Consumer protection for banks and other financial institutions, which is the OFI. If you are working with CBN, you should understand some of this. Then we have the national blockchain policy. At the beginning of this program, when we're talking about the Open Blockchain Day, the introduction to this program, I made mention of the national blockchain policy, and I gave us a copy, a PDF copy of the national blockchain policy. So go to the Google Drive. If you have not read it, go and read it. If you know you want to operate in this space, you need to understand this, especially in Nigeria. But I'm also glad to let you know that we are reviewing the national blockchain policy. So before the end of the year, we are going to have an updated version of the national blockchain policy. My association, the Stakeholders in Blockchain Technology Association of Nigeria, we are one of the members of the steering committee to review the current national blockchain policy. So please go and look at it, okay? It was developed by the Ministry of Communication and Data Economy, then led by Dr. Isa Pantami, okay? And it was approved last year. But right now, the new Minister of Communications, Dr. Tijani, is also looking into it. And we are glad that the DG of NITDA, both past and present, he came back. Engineer Kashifu Noah is still spearheading this. So it will be a better improvement. Okay, we are looking at a version 2 that is coming out. And it gives a foundation for the acceptance and execution of blockchain in Nigeria. So blockchain is not banned. Blockchain is not restricted. That's why we are looking at compliance policy and regulation, so that we understand the provisions of blockchain in Nigeria. That is the reason why Bayes University can teach you blockchain. Blockchain is not banned. Although we are trying to get the understanding and the position of CBN, SEC, EFCC, Nigeria Police, and the rest of them when it comes to the applications of cryptocurrency. By now, you should be mature enough to know that blockchain is not crypto, and cryptocurrency is not blockchain. We don't need to go into that. If you need to understand that again, then you need to go to check our blockchain fundamentals class. Okay, so let's quickly just go on. We also need to understand the Nigeria Data Protection Act that is provided by the Nigeria Data Protection Commission, the NDPC. If you are doing anything that has to do with the data of people, whether individuals or corporations, you need to comply with NDPC. If you are collecting people's credit card information, date of birth, name, age, you need to comply with NDPC. You cannot just sell the data. You cannot use it for third-party advertisement. Bayes University have the data of all of us, our date of birth, our emails, our names, and all of that. They can't sell that information to a third party because it will be going against the act of the NDPC, and it can affect them. There's also the Cybercrime Prohibition and Prevention Act of 2015. If you want to be a blockchain consultant, you need to identify yourself and familiarize yourself rather with all of this. All right. So go and read all of this. My job here is to point you to these. Then you go further to read them. Go further and carry out your research. Familiarize yourself with them, and they will help you to understand what we are doing better. This is to help protect in case you are working or you find yourself working with an organization in the future. This will help to protect the organization against cybercrime. Also, the Money Laundering Act. You also need to apply it if you're working in a financial technology company, a fintech company. And if your company is going to be dealing with blockchain, you need to also familiarize yourself with this. If you are receiving funds and you are sending funds, you are transferring funds to people, you need to look at it. Also, the Finance Act as amended every year, you need to also look at it. Now, let's quickly look at the global regulatory trends. There's increased know your customer and anti-money laundering requirements, okay, all over the world, not just Nigeria. You need to also familiarize yourself with that. Last week, we made mention that any country you want your business to operate in, you need to know the laws. You cannot say you don't know the laws of that country and you are doing business there. Your business will be shut down. You can be arrested. You can be jailed. Don't say, oh, I came to help the people. Why are they treating me like this? No, you went against the laws of the land. So before you go to any organization or you take your business to any jurisdiction, you must adapt and adopt their laws. And blockchain laws are becoming more stringent now all over the world. Cryptocurrency laws are becoming more stringent all over the world. People are leaving centralized exchanges to go to decentralized exchanges. But guess what? Even decentralized exchanges, the MetaMask, the Trust Wallet, and the rest of them, all the Web3 wallets, are all coming under regulation pretty soon. There's the MiCA regulation, okay? The markets in crypto assets. There's a regulation for that. You need licensing and authorization in regions like European Union, okay? So you can't just go anywhere and say you want to operate now. Many people that run to Estonia, to UAE, that's Dubai, to Cyprus, to many other countries, they are now facing regulation because you cannot operate in isolation. Your business has to be properly checked. And if you don't check your business, users can come there to use it for terrorism financing, and it will affect you at the end of the day. Don't open up a shop that bad actors will use to carry out nefarious activities, and you now be the one that will end up going to jail. Binance started a big business. In 4 or 5 years, Binance became the biggest exchange in Nigeria. But in some areas of the world, Binance was falling short in regulation, and that now affected them to the extent that the founder of Binance is now in jail. Can you see that running a business can send someone to jail? Meanwhile, the people that stole, the people that did wrong in the business are working free. That's the reason why compliance policy and regulation is becoming a very hot topic today, and you must pay attention to it. Don't just rush to say you want to go and make money. During the week in Nigeria here, we heard the news of a crypto portfolio manager, popularly known as B-Lord. So he's been nabbed, and they're going to try him. And the Nigerian police with EFCC are coming together, and we don't know the outcome yet, but we will wait to see the outcome. Carrying out transactions without following some compliance can land you in problem. People are going to complain about him, maybe because he did not get them to sign some KYC documents. They've complained about him. Meanwhile, the business that they came to was meant to help them make money. Maybe because they've not made those profits or they've not gotten the returns that the business, B-Lord business, said they will give to them. They've gone to court to complain to security operatives, and the law enforcement agents have invited him, and they may arrest him, or he may have to part away with money or pay some fine. So you must understand the regulatory trends. Also, taxation. So recently, about 2 weeks ago or so, we received emails from KuCoin. Some people call them KuCoin, KuCoin. They said they're also going to be applying the 7.5% VAT or taxation on any crypto transaction that occurs on their exchange. So taxes are coming out. So if you find yourself to become a consultant or a compliance officer for an exchange, you must tell the CEO as the blockchain compliance officer of that organization that they must collect taxes. And when they collect the taxes, they should keep it in an account. Keep it safely in an account. Even if they've not started paying tax to government, they should keep that money in an account so that if government of that land comes tomorrow can be this year, can be next year, can be 5 years. If they come and say you have been operating here and you have not been paying taxes, you can pull out that funds, pay your tax, and be in the good book of government. Imagine the government of Nigeria coming to tell Binance that Binance is owing Nigeria government some billions of naira because they've been operating in Nigeria since 2018 and they've not been paying taxes. What if they kept some funds away from the transaction charges they've been charging us, and they take from that money and give to government? They may not even pay the full money. They may come to a compromise because prior to this time, there have not been any regulation on taxes. So when the government comes, they can tell government, well, there was no clear law on taxes. However, we are ready to meet you midway. So instead of paying 1 billion naira, we can give you 200 million naira or 300 million naira. You have a lobbyist. Their lobbyists can negotiate this, and they give that to government, and government will give them a waiver, right? And they can sit with the government to look into the laws and the regulations and come out with regulations that will not stifle the business, but encourage the business to thrive. Because prior to this time, Nigerians have traded on Binance. I know many Nigerian youths that are millionaires trading on Binance. Binance made many Nigerian youths millionaires. Today, they cannot do that again. Many of them are going to tailoring and other businesses now. So if you don't run your business well, it can affect many people. Taxation has to be looked into. Global trends and regulations, right, still affect countries like China, Bolivia, and even Nigeria. They've been banned, they've been lifting of ban, there've been restrictions and all of that, right? It's important to look at all this so that you don't fall in the bad side of the law. So we've come to one of our case studies. We'll be using Nigeria as our case study 1 in looking into crypto regulation, which is our lesson 3. I'll be running fast because I want to see how we can finish model 1 today, and it's almost time for prayer. Okay, so crypto regulation in Nigeria. We have regulatory scrutiny. It's very important. Okay, this is a very important, one of the most important lessons that regulatory monitoring in the crypto space has brought, because it is avoidable. It is very avoidable. Okay, governments and regulatory agencies around the world are increasingly focusing on cryptocurrencies because they've seen the growth metrics and the importance of crypto in financial market and the need for control. Security is very important. We've had lots of security breaches and hacks in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. We've talked about the case of Patricia. I did not mention the case of one Sato wallet. Yes, it was a case, though they are registered in Dubai, but the owner is a Nigerian, and it affected lots of Nigerians. So security is important, and one of the blockchain policies, or one of the aspects of blockchain policies that we'll be looking at in the revised national blockchain policy of Nigeria will be security. Okay, environmental issues also will be taken seriously. In Nigeria, we don't really mine, we don't do Bitcoin mining, but there are other places we don't do it large scale. I think there are very few people. I will try to see the Bitcoin Lightning node. I'll try to check the map again, and I will do a screenshot and share with us maybe in one of our classes before we wrap up on the miners that we have all around the world. I think right now the nodes that are still live in Nigeria, maybe they are just one. I don't even think up to one, because I've shut down my node as well. A friend of mine, Chuta Chimeze, I don't think his node is still running. Another friend of mine, I don't think his node is running. So I think we're about 4 or 5 that had Bitcoin Lightning node running. So I will check it again to see. So there are environmental concerns concerning that border around the use of electricity for mining, because it consumes lots of electricity, the carbon footprint and all of that. For countries like China, the US, and many countries in Europe, they are looking at that because mining consumes lots of electricity and it also poses a threat on carbon emissions. So we have not gotten there yet, so we can't even talk about that in Nigeria. Okay. Then we also look into user-friendly solutions. Why cryptocurrencies have various benefits, okay, such as financial inclusions, borderless transaction, speed, wallet and private keys complexity to keep it safe, blockchain technology, and that proven to be a barrier, okay, for many potential users. Therefore, local cryptocurrencies have improved in making a user-friendly solution. So blockchain technology has proven to be a non-barrier. Sorry for the typo error. Okay, it has closed barrier gaps. It has closed barrier gaps for people across distant places. So cryptocurrency has helped for financial inclusion. So we have finished module 1. We are supposed to do a knowledge check, and you can do it on your own. So the idea of this is to have a Q&A. So let me go and see if we have some questions I can respond to. Okay. Yes. So OKX exchange is going to be leaving Nigeria. It's shutting down operations in Nigeria. I also received that mail day for yesterday. And that is because of the same thing we have been talking about. It's the same thing we've been talking about, compliance issues, and the challenges that they've been facing. So OKX Exchange have seen that until they are fully compliant, they don't want to be fined, they don't want to be sanctioned, because Binance is having serious issues in Nigeria. So until all of that is put in the proper perspective, I think they've taken a high-level management decision to, for now, halt their services in Nigeria. I know they will come back. I've met their management in Dubai before. So I know OKX will come back because Nigeria is one of their largest markets. OKX have paid Nigerians good money to manage their exchange before, even their communities. So that is the reason why we are training you. Because tomorrow, if an exchange wants to come to Nigeria, you may be one of the people they will employ as their consultants, as their compliance officers. You should be able to work to set and help them register to be compliant. Don't worry. See, a good day is coming. The system is going to get better. By the time everything is put in the right perspective, and you are the one going to SEC, going to CBN to make sure they get their registration done, they get all their licenses, you will have a job to do. You'll be well paid, right? And you may not even be employed. You may just be a consultant that they hire. You help them get their licenses secure, and they pay you for that service, and you move on to another service. Also, banks are coming on the blockchain. I mentioned it last week that First Bank has adopted a decentralized system that is being powered by Zone. United Bank for Africa, that is UBA, is also on that network. Zenith Bank is also on that network. Even though we know they are training their staff, it may get to a point that they may say, instead of spending money on training, they can just employ some of you that are already trained. So with your certificate from Ideas Based University that you have been trained on blockchain technology, and with your knowledge on compliance policy and regulation, you can work in a bank. So new jobs are coming. Okay, new jobs are coming. So get to understand this training we are giving you very, very well, so that as this opportunity a part of it. Okay, let me just quickly run through and see if we have anything I need to respond to. If not, we have come to Abubakar. Say blockchain is just too awesome. We have not started yet. I am telling you, we are just laying the foundation. KCS Crypto TV. I saw something like this. I don't know if this is what you used to register for this program, but I don't think we are going to be giving a certificate to KCS Crypto TV. So please change it to your name, to your personal name, so that we know who you are. I saw one of the quiz results as KCS something crypto. If you are using an official name, you may not get your credentials because nobody registered as an organization. You registered as individual. So please do well to comply. Yes, but for your question, the materials are inside your materials are for chapter 7 to 12 are inside the Google Drive. They are in the folder, Blockchain Fundamentals, BTC 101. Please go there, you'll see it there. Okay. For those of you interested in the programming track, already skilled using JavaScript and Protocol, is it a must to learn Solidity? If you're working with Ethereum, it's necessary to work with Solidity because what we'll be doing is to give you a general overview. Then, programming is also an art. It's an art. It's like painting. So you are the one that will mix the colors by yourself. We'll just give you the broad overview, show you how it works, then you will develop it by yourself. Okay, from the beginning of April, we will also we'll start introducing you to the ICP blockchain because we are going to be having the hackathon on the ICP blockchain. So, but don't stress yourself too much. We are going to show you how to work on the Ethereum virtual machine, which will include Solidity. If you have the understanding, fine. You have another added advantage. If you don't have the understanding, you can go and start watching videos or go to Coursera or Udemy or any of them. Simply learn. Look for one of their free courses on Solidity and start learning it so that when we start the class, you will not find it difficult, but we'll take it from the beginning. Okay. Okay, say Meta Mining is a company here in Abuja that deals on Bitcoin mining. That's fine. Dr. Ibrahim said, how can we be a blockchain compliance expert? You started it already. So this course is actually one of the courses. This course is one of the courses that will grow you into becoming a blockchain compliance expert. However, we are going to be running a 1-week masterclass that will focus on blockchain compliance. We will let you know before the end of this program. We will let you know when that training will come up. It is going to be a physical training in Abuja for 1 week, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. In fact, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's a high-level masterclass training. It's going to be a combination of Cyberchain, Dominion, and some other organizations. Okay, so we'll let you know. It's a high-level masterclass, a high-level masterclass. So when the time comes, we'll let you know. As a law graduate, this is the course you should be focused on. Even as a law student, as a lawyer, this is the course. Blockchain compliance, policy, and regulation is what you should focus on. You can work for a bank, you can work for a TV station, you can work for any fintech, you can work for any fintech, you can work for the government, you can work for a radio station, you can work just anywhere, you can work just anywhere. I mean, name it. You say, where can we get hard copy of publication? We are out of hard copy of the book. This is the only hard copy I have left. If you are referring to this, we are completely out of hard copy. We've sold over 500 copies. We started selling this book since 2022. We've sold over 500 copies. So this is the only hard copy I have left. So we are actually making provision to reprint. That's why a soft copy we are selling now. Okay. Go to seller. We have shared the link before. Chapter 13 of this book introduce blockchain regulation. So we are actually growing you gradually. Chapter 13 of this book introduce blockchain regulation. So if you want to be an expert in compliance, policy, and regulation, start here. This is where you should start. Get this book, and you can just jump to chapter 13, which is page 87. Okay? You can jump to chapter 13, which is page 87, and start reading on blockchain regulation. Where the money flows, regulators go. And I said this thing since 2022. Where the money flows, regulators go. Where the money flows, regulators go. I said it since 2022. And 2024, regulation is becoming a serious issue. We have seen these things years ago. And in 2024, we are releasing a book focused on compliance, policy, and regulation. Compliance, policy, and regulation is a serious business now. I'm telling you that it will get to a point where even programmers, devs will be getting arrested. I don't want anybody here to release a product, get investors, they give you $200,000, give you $4,000, $1 million, and at the end of the day, because you are not on the right side of the law, you get arrested. Do you know what it means for CZ of Binance to get arrested? Chapeng Zhao is one of the richest men on earth, got arrested and is being jailed. Nigeria will say, stop playing. Stop playing. We're not playing here. We're talking about serious issues. So go to seller, get this, get the soft copy. Bear with us. We are out of, we printed only 500 copies and we have finished selling them since 2022. So we'll try and see if we can reprint so that when we are doing the tokenized economy conference, we'll come with hard copies. We'll bring hard copies to Abuja. We'll see if we can reprint. We'll know that those hard copies will get sold immediately. But get the soft copy and prepare yourself. Go to chapter 13 and read it. Page 85. Just get the soft copy and read it. If you want to be a compliance officer or an expert, you want to be a blockchain consultant, you want to be a blockchain analyst, you want to be a community manager, you need to start equipping yourselves. Go and get it. The link is already in your group, in the Telegram group, but I'll remind admin to drop it again go and get it. So my time is up. Thank you for today's lecture. Tomorrow and next week, rather, we will continue. But next week, you also have your tests. You have tests next week. Go and read from chapter 7 to 12 and prepare yourself. Once again, thank you. Thanks to Bates University for this opportunity. Thanks to Ideas, Ministry of Education, NITSDA, Ministry of Communication, Jigawa State Government, and Dominion Blockchain Solutions for giving us this opportunity. And most especially you, we appreciate you very well. God bless you. Once again, I'm Jude Ozinegbe, and thank you for having me. See you next week.